People of Earth. People of Earth. People of Earth, welcome to episode 62 of Film Banter. We have returned after a 2-week hiatus. This man has gone nuts during the interim period.
We welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It's good to be back after 2 weeks off. Get over here. They can't hear you from back there. Get in here.
Take it off. Take it off.
No, you're going to stay.
I can't breathe. Hurry.
You'll be okay. All right, everybody. It's really good to be back. This man has really been missing us all. But are you ready to come out of your straitjacket? Yes. I actually would like to see my actual friend here, and not this crazed madman that we have here.
Oh, God.
Let's get this off of you. Oh, man. Wow.
It's hard.
Wow. You're probably pretty hot in that thing,
I'm
too.
pretty hot in this.
Wow.
2 weeks is too much.
2 weeks you've been in that state.
I know, it's been too much.
Well, I'm sorry that you were so miserable over the past couple of weeks.
Well.
At least you had film to keep you busy.
So true, indeed.
It's good to see you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is good to be back.
It's very good to be back here.
Yeah, we've been gone for
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
3 weeks since our last show, but 2 weeks off.
Because this guy here, that's right, he got married.
I tied the knot.
He did. He tied the knot
I
right
did.
here.
I did.
Right
and
here,
it's amazing
right
how
tightly.
much planning goes into that and how much work.
Absolutely.
And we just needed the break.
No question. No question. Once again, the lights are affecting me on.
Yes, put your shades on, my
shades
friend.
on there, you know.
Yes.
But the future's so bright.
Yeah, we don't want you to be distracted by the lights.
Yeah, I'm blinded by the light, dun, 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 wrapped up like a
I forget who sings that again.
Well, it was actually done. It was written by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, really?
And then it was
see
redone
that
by
being his
Manfred
Bruce
Mann's Earth Band
yeah.
back in the 70s. I believe
Okay.
1972 or so.
Nice.
No, I'm going to say more like 75.
Was it 75?
Yeah, it was indeed.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Well, all right. We have a lot of movies to catch
Yeah,
up on.
we
now.
got a
have
lot to
of
cover. We're
stuff
going to jump
because
right in.
We're going to
head
jump
first.
right in. We're going to go for it.
Go right in.
Notice our viewership is way down because they don't even know that we exist anymore.
It doesn't matter.
We've completely annihilated those who supposedly loved us. But hopefully we're back. So here we are.
To us.
So let's talk about what we're going to be doing. We're going to talk about the disaster artist, new James Franco film.
Correct.
We also have The Glass Castle. We have Hangman, Al Pacino movie, The Great Beauty,
yes.
A wonderful foreign film. I
3
have,
billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. We have that. Frances McDormand.
Frances McDormand.
Yes.
As she's known. We also have
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird with Saoirse
Ronan.
Saoirse.
It's actually
Saoirse. Well, she was on
Saoirse.
Saturday Night
Yes,
Live and she
yes.
said it.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah. Saoirse Ronan
and
is her
Laurie
name.
Metcalf and Tracy Letts.
Correct, absolutely.
We have Jim and Andy, the documentary about Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman.
And how he was in character the entire film.
Very method.
The entire filming of the film.
He played 2 characters.
Hey, we got
Totally
one viewer. I
Clifton.
want to say hello to our one viewer
Hello,
out
one
there.
viewer.
It's good to be back, and it's good that you're back. Wait, they're coming to us. They're coming to us.
If you broadcast, they will come.
Come to us. Come.
Waste time with us.
That's right. Waste your life as we are wasting our lives here.
And we also have a couple other obscure movies
We've
you've
got a
never
lot of
heard
other stuff we're going to get to, but we're going to start right off the bat here with the incredible Disaster Artist. This is a remake of a 2003 film. Not a remake, it's a depiction.
Behind the scenes of the making of a really bad film called The Room.
It is, in fact, a depiction.
I'll do the quick premise.
What did you do? Oh, here it is.
I didn't
You
do
left
anything.
it on, too, didn't you?
Oh,
Yes,
I might have
you
left it
did.
on.
Wait a minute, just to make it
Official episode 62, People of Earth. People of Earth.
Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
So, if you don't know the story, real quick, the Disaster Artist is telling the story of the behind the scenes of making The Room, a 2003 film that has become a cult classic because it's so bad it's good. You know, it's one of
what the hell's his name? Tommy
Tommy Wiseau
Wiseau
is the man who made that film. He was the star, the writer, the director, the producer. Everything was him.
Yeah.
And he is who James Franco plays in this film. And James Franco actually also directed this film as well.
He directed it. He's obviously
actually, he's not one of the writers, but he's one of the producers.
Oh, okay.
And he's a director.
Okay,
And
very
this
good.
movie became a cult thing because when it was released, a bunch of big wigs in Hollywood, in terms of actors, comedic actors like Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, a lot of those guys, the Franco crew, They found out about this movie, started watching it, and it became kind of a thing in LA, and it started to spread. It became one of those midnight showings,
right? Exactly,
where people would then interact with the movie.
It's a drama, but it's so unnaturally, hysterically funny.
It became a comedy.
That it became a comic hit. Actually,
yeah, it did. It's a lot of fun to watch.
I have not seen it yet.
Good 10 times at least.
Really?
My friends and I have watched this movie for years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so bad.
This is the first I've really known about it.
It's really funny.
Through the James Franco event here. So,
and they do a great job with this movie. This movie Fubi. No, they did a great job at reenacting these
once,
scenes.
but you can't Fubi twice.
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't get foobed again.
Won't get foobed again.
A Fubi is the competitor for the Furby.
I'm sorry.
Were you masticating? Is that what you were doing?
I was masticating.
Were you masticating about an hour ago?
No, I won't.
Although you've had a tooth issue today.
I have trouble masticating.
You do. Well, that's what I said.
That's very true. Hey, but hey.
But anyway,
we're back. It's fun. It's fun, folks. It's fun to be here.
I thought this film was
Don't
hilarious.
go by this. It's fun. This is fun. You're having fun now.
Is that what this is called?
No, not really.
No.
Okay, so
honestly, I really enjoyed this film.
I
thought
enjoyed
it was a lot of fun. Go ahead.
Was it a movie that actually? I kind of felt it would have been better almost as a Netflix flick.
Could have been.
It was such a small kind of a film. It really didn't demand going to the theater and paying the full bucks to go see this movie.
I didn't pay full price, so.
I didn't either. I saw it today.
Me too. So you saw it today? Me too.
Yeah, I saw it today.
What time did you go?
I went to approximately the 2:00 show.
I went to the 2:40 show.
There you go.
Like passing ships.
You went to the GSP.
I did.
I did not went to the Nanuet
The
Theater. The beloved
NUT.
Nanuet. Yeah. The old.
This film, you don't have to see The Room to appreciate the disaster artist, but you will appreciate it more if you saw The Room
first.
And
I shall indeed.
And I will tell you, at the end of the film, they do a
little
frame by frame, side by side comparison
just how
of the
brilliantly
original
they
and the remake.
recreated
the
some of the scenes. But this is really James Franco's baby.
It is.
He is really amazing.
He's gonna. They're saying Oscar nod.
No, they are saying Oscar.
Definitely, already got the Golden Globe nod.
No, he did indeed, and rightly so.
He was good.
He is awesome.
He really did a great job at capturing the essence of Tommy Wiseau.
Absolutely, no question about it.
That bizarre accent.
And just by I saw Tommy. In fact, he and his brother James and
you
Tommy
saw them on
Jimmy Kimmel.
I saw that too.
Yeah, they were on Jimmy
That was
Kimmel,
a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun, and Tommy Wiseau comes
out.
out. He's just this vampiric kind of a strange egg.
He is a character, man.
He is. He definitely has an Eastern European, almost a Transylvanian kind of accent. He talk very no adverbs.
Very broken English.
Everything goes right to the noun.
Yeah.
He omits all the, I like this. I like food. I don't
make
like
movie.
the food. We make movie. We do good. But I did like this film. It was I think it's a great little piece of work. It flows very nicely. Yeah. I thought James's character and depiction of this artist, if you will, is amazing. And I thought he did a great job.
I thought his brother Dave Franco was very good at playing.
Dave was pretty
Mark
good.
Sinestro, I believe is his name, is the real guy.
Little miscast when we finally saw the other guy at the end.
Looks decent resemblance.
I don't think so, but it was nice to see Alison Brie in this movie, who is in fact
his real life wife,
playing his girlfriend.
Yes.
In this film. So I got
Seth Rogen is in the film as well.
Seth Rogen's in it.
It's a lot of fun.
We had also what's his name, Zac
Efron.
Zac Efron.
He shows up at the end.
No, he's in the middle of the film too. He does that starring role. He beats up the guy. Or give me my money. He's the guy with the gun.
That was Zac Efron?
Yes.
What?
Of course. What's wrong?
I didn't even notice that was Zac Efron. I didn't even notice he was the guy with the gun.
Yeah, he's the guy that shoves the guy down. Give me my money. When you gonna get...
I didn't notice that was him at all.
God, he's so pumped.
Yeah, that's why I didn't recognize him.
That's
he had the hat on.
Yeah.
Wow, because I only noticed him in the crowd in the theater at the end.
No.
Wow, I didn't notice that
the whole
was him.
Scene. I mean,
no, I watched the scene, but I didn't notice it was him.
Were you in the theater at all?
Yeah, honestly, it didn't even look like Zac Efron.
Maybe you had your head in your popcorn bowl.
I didn't notice that at all.
Or something. No, that was
I don't know how I missed it.
I don't know how you missed it either. It's Zac Efron, for Christ's sake.
I didn't even see it.
But anyway.
Jackie Weaver, the Australian actress, is in the film too.
I don't know him.
She was a woman. It's a woman. Actress.
Oh.
She played the old lady, the one that said, "I have cancer."
Oh yeah.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
She was good, and I liked the bad teacher. She was the bad teacher on the series. She played his girlfriend in this film. Of course, Cameron Diaz did the film. And then they made a
TV
NBC
show,
made a
yes,
TV
yes,
show,
yes.
and the little blonde who plays James Franco's
Yes,
girlfriend.
yes, she was that.
She was
Yes,
also.
she was good.
She was very good too.
Yeah, everybody was good.
Everybody was good. James Franco does a bizarre turn. I mean, it's like James Franco shows his ass to almost promote the film that Tommy Wiseau had to show his ass to promote his film. So there's kind of that dual sense of.
And if you watch the real movie, there really are these long, awkward sex scenes where we're focusing on the thrusting of his ass cheeks for many minutes.
I tell you, it really was. It was very funny, and the film itself, and you felt this guy's messed upness.
Yeah.
You really felt that he has all this emotion in him, and he it just was something about him that you find disturbing and yet compelling at the same time.
You know, just like Ed Wood or something, he's got that passion.
Exactly.
But the skill set is really
fine comparison to Ed Wood. But Ed Wood could speak English, and Ed Wood actually was a smart guy. He just had no money to really push his Plan 9 from outer space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why don't we move on?
We both love the disaster.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
No question.
I highly recommend it. Big yes.
We're going to move on now to the Glass Castle. This is also a 2000. I believe this is a 2000.
It came out this year.
2017
It came out in May.
film. This is a real life story of a particular
Actually, no, it came out in
family.
August.
Very similar to a film that I just saw recently with Viggo Mortensen called Captain Fantastic.
That was great. That's the reason I wasn't super urgent to watch this because it was very similar to that.
It was very similar.
Although this is a true story.
This is a true story, and it's about a crazed dad played brilliantly.
Woody Harrelson, who's always great. I mean,
but he goes into character depth we don't normally see. Woody usually plays his kind of off Woody Harrelson kind of role. What was that last movie he did?
Well, he's
the character's name. It was
Wilson.
Ed Wilson, yeah.
And he was in the last Planet of the Apes. I mean, he's in 3 Billboards. I mean, the guy he makes like 4 or 5 movies a year.
He gets around, no question about it. But this film is about a father who's kind of off the grid. He kind of does things his own way. His wife, his kids are being dragged around kind of in a circumferential bit of torrent of a hurricane of a life.
They're like squatters in a lot of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. He has no money, so he just brings the kids anywhere he can. He makes them great promises that they're going to build a glass house, and hence the title, Glass Castle. So. Good. It's like having a parrot sitting next to me.
It's like having a parrot next to you.
It's like having a parrot sitting next to you.
It's like having a parrot next to you.
It's like having a parrot sitting next to you. It's like having a parrot sitting next to me. So, but I like this film. I really did. Naomi Watts plays his kind of crazed wife. Then, of course, at the end, we see the real couple, as usual.
I love that.
I love that, too. You know, it's becoming almost the standard in any kind of a true story now. I like it. I just like that they bring in the real folks so we can really see what people really look like. And, you know, so many times, like in a film I am going to review tonight, or am I? Victoria and Abdul. No, I'm going to do that next week.
We're going to do that next week because I'm going to watch that.
But at the end of that film with Judi Dench and this Indian man who's in the
show the real people.
They show the real people at the end. I love it, and especially stuff like that because this was way back in the the early part of the century. So photography was just kind of coming into photography came around Matthew Brady back in the mid 1800s or so, but. Glass Castle, I like this film very much.
The star is Brie Larson, correct?
It's a little on the long time. Yeah, Brie Larson is in it. She plays the daughter, and she grows up, and, there's friction with mom and dad, and they're kind of living on the streets of New York City while she's kind of living the yuppie life.
Yeah, and she's successful, right?
The guy's name, he's in the show The New Girl. He plays Schmidt his name is Matthew... something or other. But anyway, he plays her husband in this, and I like this film a lot. Check it out. It's just called The Glass Castle. It's a drama. It's a little on the heavy side, so and it's about a 2-hour and 11-minute film. So it was hard getting through, but I'm glad I did.
Okay.
A lot of scenes I think I would have cut out and so forth, but I have to judge the film I saw. So
correct.
Glass Castle, I'm going to say yes on the Glass Castle. Let us move on to the Al Pacino epic.
Hangman,
yes.
Which is now on Amazon, I believe.
It is indeed.
It's a cop film, a serial killer film.
Yeah.
Him and Carl Urban, they're 2 cops. Carl Urban is a detective, kind of dealing with his own grief.
And Carl Urban is recently in a film that I wanted to review this week called The Apprentice. I can't even think. Where's my actual list? The name of the film is called. This is not my actual list.
Is it in your breast pocket?
It might be in my breast pocket here, where my phone is, because that's where I put it. The name of that film was called Acts of Vengeance. Say New Antonio.
Oh, that's
Banderas.
the film with Banderas.
Yeah, yeah, and that cop.
Carl Urban.
Carl
No,
Urban.
he's good.
He's also
The thing I loved him the most in was Dredd. The remake of Dredd was
Okay.
great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, in this film, they're tracking a serial killer. That his little gimmick is that he leaves hangman clues, like the game Hangman.
Right, and the little arms. And
Yeah,
the
and so
feet.
Pacino is a cop that comes out of retirement, so to speak, to help with the case.
He does.
He was, I believe, an ex-partner of Carl Urban.
Yeah.
And then there's a profiler for a newspaper.
Hey, look at this fun toy. Here, put your hands in this.
No, why don't you put yours in there?
No, why don't you put yours in there?
I don't want to.
Hey, you used to lock me
I
up
don't
in a
want- I'll
damn
lock
thing
you.
for the last 2 weeks.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
see how you like it, buddy.
It was your choice. It was your suggestion
It's
to have 2
not
weeks
my
off.
choice.
You said let's take 2 weeks
Well,
off.
you're getting.
Yeah, but it was your idea to have the 2 weeks off.
No, it was. I'm doing it in compliance with your
You did,
life.
but you suggested
Oh,
it.
don't blame
I
me.
would have done the 2 weeks.
You would have.
Yeah, but I took your suggestion because it made sense because I was very busy.
And then you had to go to some Martin Scorsese.
It never happened.
I figured.
Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
fell through.
More bullshit. More
It
bullshit.
fell through.
I figured.
Anyway, so they're tracking a serial killer
Hangman,
who does this
yeah.
stuff. You know, this film, I can't say there's anything really remarkable about
Just
this movie.
a horrible piece of garbage.
I don't want to say it's a horrible piece
it
of
was
garbage,
horrifying.
but
Al just does
this
a lot of
movie,
spittle
you know what I
flying
felt
from
about
Al's
this movie?
mouth.
I just kind of felt, even though I thought Al tried to give a performance with,
I think
he
he
had an
tried.
accent, his southern
I think
accent,
they-
he
a
was
little
like
bit.
a hard-boiled
I'm
kind
waiting
of...
for him to just go,
Yeah.
"Ee-yaw," that ooh-ah,
I know.
that scent of a woman.
But
bullshit.
this movie felt to me,
Ah.
with respect to the filmmakers, everybody's kind of like, okay, let's just
Get this over
sleepwalk through
with.
this
Let's
movie,
get
you
this
know?
over. We got Pacino in a movie. We're gonna do
Yeah,
it
and they
quick.
got, there's
He's only got a week to shoot, so we
Yeah.
got to get him out of here.
and they had this,
Take
this
a hike.
actress Brittany Snow playing this reporter who's doing a profile of this cop,
I love little
and
Brittany.
she gets,
And
she
she's all
gets
right,
involved
yeah.
in the situation,
No, I
but.
like her.
I just
But
can't
this movie
say
was weak.
that the movie felt believable to me.
It was horrifying.
I didn't buy really for a second that their captain was that, the woman in the wheelchair. It
yeah,
just
yeah,
didn't-
yeah, yeah.
I don't know, I just didn't buy the character.
Yeah.
Overall, you can
A
skip
lot of
this
foot
movie.
chases. It was just. I
The
didn't
guy,
care
and
for
then
this
the
film.
guy that they show at the end as the killer, I don't know, I just didn't buy any of
I
it.
didn't buy none of it.
No.
I didn't buy none
I'm
of it.
sorry. And I love Al,
I love Al too.
I hate the Pan and Al movie, but
I
this
know.
one, this was a paycheck movie all the way. Skip it.
really was.
You can
too.
you can pass
You
on this
know,
one.
I have to agree with you. Okay,
So
let's
why don't we go on to The
We're going
Great
to move
Beauty?
on to The Great Beauty, which is a film that I was
2013.
recommended by a friend of mine. I don't know if he's out there watching, but Mr. Jonathan Covert, sir, I commend you on your incredible taste, because this movie is one of the most beautiful films I have ever laid eyes upon. I kid you
Wow.
not. It is very strange. Now, this director, his name is, I believe, Paolo Sorrentino.
No, Paolo Sorrentino.
Paolo Sorrentino.
Italian.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I adored this movie. It is so stunning looking. It is almost had a feel. There was a specific director. You remember he did that movie with Jennifer Lopez and Vincent D'Onofrio. Was it The Veil?
You're talking about The Cell.
The Cell.
You're talking about Tarsum.
Oh my God!
Tarsum Singh.
I'll tell you that.
That is a
particular-
visual guy.
A visual
Amazing.
delight. It's very often, but that's more visuals for visual's sake. This was visual with passion to it. I was blown away by this film. It's a little bit on the lengthy side. I love the actor. He's an older guy.
His name is Tony Servillo.
Tony Sorvillo. Hey,
Tony Sorvillo.
Hey, Tony, we have a cappuccino.
Tony Sorvillo.
Because I loved this film so much, I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
This guy, and when I originally saw I saw that this was a Criterion film. I kind of, I was drawn to it for
Yeah.
that reason. But then I saw the front photograph of this old guy sitting on a bench, and I just said, I don't want to.
Now, is this a period piece?
No, this
Okay.
is set in
Contemporary, good.
modern day Italy.
All right.
And it's just really, it's almost a little bit of a philosophical journey that you go on with this man as he goes through various ventures of his life. And he had written a novel back like when he was a young man.
Yes.
And many of the Italian people follow him. He's
Yes.
invited to all the best parties. Some of the party scenes are right out of a Fellini film.
Okay.
We have midgets and Popeyes and bye-bye, bye-bye. All we are saying is give peas a chance. He was actually not talking about carrots. He was talking about give peas a chance. So, but I gotta say, there's a lot of such bizarre essence to this movie. There's a scene there where a woman is just running headlong naked into a brick wall, and people are just sitting there watching it. Has such a Fellini overtone to it, but it's a beautiful knockout of a visual piece of work. It's so stunning.
Where can people find this movie? Is that on
You can
Amazon?
find this basically
Well, if it's
anywhere.
Criterion,
it is
you
a
can find it
Criterion
anywhere.
film. You can buy it at your store, and I do wholeheartedly recommend buying the Blu-ray if you can. If you have a Blu-ray machine or a DVD, whatever, watch it on your TV.
And there
It
is also
such a magnificent thing. But let me just get into the gist of this very, very quickly. He wrote a novel many, many years ago, and he has never found it within his soul to get it to do something else. He was so knocked out by something in his life, and he's been searching all along for this great beauty that he has just pursued and pursued and pursued. And as the film progresses, we kind of find out that I felt there was a little bit of a bummer kind of thing tacked on, but it is in fact what the film is. So, but it's a beautiful, absolute, stunning piece of work. I cannot recommend it highly enough. I was knocked out emotionally, and I didn't want it to end. And I really wanted to just fly to Italy and hang out with this guy because he just has a heart and soul about him. I love this movie. I absolutely adored it, I have to say.
Great.
It's a big yes
It's a nice
for me.
feeling when you see a movie that moves you like that you feel compelled to talk about.
It's very strange that you'll see visuals, but there'll never be passion. There'll never be emotion within the visuals. This is to put both together. Sometimes we have great visual directors, and then we have great action directors. We have great directors, but very rarely do we get a great visual. A guy like David Lean, for example, he could put them both together. He could put the visuals and the passion of the script, great acting, and that's exactly what we have here. I was so knocked out. Cool. He also directed The Young Pope, which is a miniseries, I believe, on HBO,
which I heard was kind of
with it's got Jude Law, and he's he's got little altar boys hanging off his backside.
Does he?
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't think
he
sleeps with women.
Isn't that what a young pope does? I mean, he's going to go and feed the kid. No, I shouldn't even go there. But I don't know. But that's set back in the 14th century or something. The young pope.
No, the young pope is contemporary. It takes place now.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because in the trailer I saw tractor trailers driving.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, man.
Well, what I was going to say before is just for people that might not know. There is a website that's a subscription service like a Netflix that you can go on called Filmstruck. And they specialize in Criterion.
Well, Criterion also has their own. They're getting their own service.
Oh, they're going to have their own because this one carries all the Criterions.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So now they're going to have their own. It's nice that that's out there for people that might not want to go out and buy a Criterion.
And Criterion films are not cheap.
They can watch it.
This film was
on
like
service,
30, 40 bucks, 50 bucks for this film.
Yeah.
Which I am proud to own. I do adore The Great Beauty. It's a knockout of a film. Let us move on now.
We're going to do a film that I saw called 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
That's right.
It's a new film by the, I believe, Irish director. His name is Martin McDonagh. He did...
is he an Irish guy?
Irish, yes.
Martin McDonagh.
Yes. He did previously... what's that movie? 7 Psychopaths. He did In Bruges.
It's so good to see myself again on camera.
It is. It's nice.
So I'm such a good-looking guy.
You're
people
wonderful.
Confuse me all the time with Dame Edith Evans, but and then they also confuse me with Robert Redford because of my incredible jawline.
Yes.
But But anyway, please go ahead.
Okay, you done congratulating
I'm done congratulating my great beauty here, but
so 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. What this film is basically about. It's all about Frances McDormand. She's excellent in this movie.
I'm not
It's
surprised.
an Oscar-nominated movie.
Wow.
Performance. She will be nominated. She already got the Globe. She plays a mother who's grieving over the loss of her daughter who was raped and murdered. We find that out right away. So what she does in the right in the beginning of the film, right outside the border of the town, there are these 3 billboards that nobody's really advertised on for years. So she basically buys up ad space on these 3 billboards for a year to criticize the local sheriff, played by Woody Harrelson, for her negative view of how he handled the investigation into her daughter's death.
Oh, interesting.
So it's all about that, and it's a mystery. The story unfolds a little bit. His deputy is a kind of a real asshole, racist cop, played by Sam Rockwell, who basically steals the movie.
I'll tell you, Sam Rockwell
amazing.
can do no wrong. And
I think he's going to be nominated finally for this movie.
You're going to see a picture of Sam right
up here.
Yeah, Sam's
great.
If you don't know who Sam
over here.
He was also in that Chuck Barris movie.
Confessions of a Dangerous
That
Mind.
was one of his biggies.
He was in Galaxy Quest.
He was in Moon.
Moon. He was in The
which
Green
was directed
Mile.
by David Bowie's son,
He was
Duncan
in
Jones.
Yes, he was in Choke. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a fine actor.
And this film has other actors in it too that you'll recognize. But this film it's funny, it's sad, it's very dramatic at times. Oh, Peter Dinklage is a nice supporting role.
Oh, good.
As well.
No, he's good to see.
Honestly, I really, really recommend Three Billboards.
I can't wait to see it.
It's a lot of fun. She chews up the scenery. John Hawkes is also in this film, plays her ex-husband.
Yeah.
It's just a great little film.
I'm very anxious to see it.
You can see it in the theater because...
Or you can wait till those screeners come
yes.
out.
It's not a film... It's not a film you necessarily have to go see in the theater. However, given the Oscar buzz, you're going to want to see it.
We're going to mention another movie today, which Lady Bird, which I feel is also another... Is it next?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So Three Billboards.
You loved it.
I mean, I thought it was
mystery.
excellent.
I like the mystery.
Yeah, it's mystery.
Of it.
It's one of those movies. It's a crowd pleaser. It's thought provoking, and it's just got top notch acting from beginning to end by everybody. And
Is it good for the whole family?
No,
it's not.
Not really. No, It's got a lot of curse words. She's a very raw character.
She is?
Very raw.
Oh, okay.
She's raw like sashimi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. You have nothing else to say?
I'm honestly, no, I'm done.
All right.
I give a huge yes.
No, I want to see this
Three
film.
Billboards.
I want to see this film.
And,
I just kind of had a feeling that it was going to be a Fargo-esque kind of
not like Fargo.
thing. Well, Fargo was a comedy, mystery / horror film.
But would you compare it to Fargo if she wasn't in this one?
No.
Oh, there you go.
No, I wouldn't. But I felt that it was going to be a small film, and I was kind of, sometimes. Well, when
it's a little small in terms of its scope.
Small film like The Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
To me, it's a small film.
I know what you're saying.
These are not films to go to the theater
It's
for.
not a David Lean film.
Well,
is what, in
it's
terms
not
of
even
scope.
It's not even movies to go to the theater now.
I know, the big epics.
The big blockbusters. Star Wars this Friday. We have The Last Jedi, of course. And we have Guardians of the Galaxy, which I like that series very much. And there are, the big epic kind of, even the superhero stuff, people don't even, they do. There are massive crowds for those films. But, hey, listen.
But, honestly,
I will go see Billboards because I'm a movie fanatic and I'm anxious to see it.
To me, even if the film is not a big film, there to me is still the simple pleasure of sitting in a dark room with strangers and watching the film.
Simple pleasure.
I love it. I mean,
and if you have a
raincoat
on, it's even more pleasurable.
Yeah, that's a wet pleasure.
It really is.
But let's move on to Lady Bird since we discussed it.
I gotta point out. No, I won't. Let's move into Lady Bird.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, let's go.
You want to do the premise?
I shall begin the premise. This is about a young woman played by Saoirse Ronan.
An Irish actress.
An Irish actress who we recently saw in Brooklyn.
Yes.
She just hosted Saturday Night Live a week ago, and I think she's a great actress. There's no question about it.
She's very good.
She was Dynamite in Brooklyn, which you never saw.
I didn't get a chance to see it.
You really missed the biggie.
I'm going to see it. Yeah, she's very good.
That was her creme de la.
But I've been impressed with her ever since I saw her in
if you will.
Atonement. She was very good. The young girl in that.
I love it.
That's a really good film. It's a
beautiful
film.
It's one of the most beautiful.
Joe Wright is really
so
a good
many
director.
shots in that film that are without any edits. They just do like
that long take
one long
when
take
he's approaching
on
the
battlefield on the beach.
The beach of that abandoned amusement park.
Outrageous.
Incredible.
Outrageous.
Incredible choreography for that one take.
Oh my God.
But anyway, back to Lady Bird.
Lady Bird is about a young girl and basically going through the. She's a teenager. She's going through the stages of life, and she's learning about life and sex. And she's kind of
she goes to a Catholic school.
Of a coming of age film, if you will. A coming of age film, if you will. Hey, and I gotta say, I very much enjoyed this film. It is getting massively rave reviews.
It's according to Rotten Tomatoes, it's the best reviewed film of the year.
I would not be surprised about that. Yeah. It's beautifully made, and it's made by Greta Gerwig.
Her writing and directing debut.
Who is a dynamite actress in her own right. She did a wonderful movie with Al Pacino about 3 years ago.
The Humbling.
Great
film.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
I love Greta
I loved her in I love her in Frances Ha. It's an excellent film.
She's got such a Woody
Greenberg.
She's got a Woody Allen thing about her.
She's excellent.
Her essence is this comic, sad, kind of hilarious, and yet just this pathos of a person that we all know this kind of person. She's instantly relatable, and she directed this film. She's not even in the movie.
No.
I wish she had made a little Alfred Hitchcock cameo. She chose not to, and that's fine with me. But I did like this film very much. I do feel that the ratings on this movie, I didn't agree with so much of it, because now it's been a week since I saw it, and I found it to be, I didn't find the film powerful. I found it to be very, very well written, and every little scene in the film is so real. Her mom, played by the amazing
Laurie Metcalf.
Laurie Metcalf,
Excellent.
who used to be on the Roseanne show, of course, and
her
now
father
she's
is Tracy Letts in the movie. He's great.
She plays She plays Johnny Galecki's mother on Big Bang Theory also.
And she was just on Broadway last year with Bruce Willis.
I believe she's on Broadway right now in a show. She just won the Tony, in fact, this year for a show that she's doing. It's about three women. It's not the Chekhov play, but regardless, the characterizations in this movie were very good. I love the guy who played her dad. I love
Tracy Letts. He's great.
He was wonderful.
He's also a playwright. He wrote.
Oh, is he?
He wrote August, Osage County.
Oh,
and he wrote
excellent.
The other one that we saw, Matthew McConaughey, Joe.
Not the Paperboy.
No. The one that was William Friedkin film.
Killer
Joe.
Killer Joe.
Yeah,
there you
he
go.
wrote that too.
Very good.
And he was also the radio guy in Imperium with Daniel Radcliffe. He played the white nationalist radio host.
Oh, gee whiz.
He's got a great voice,
He does have a great voice, great presence.
Yeah.
I found this film to be not as great as I wanted it to be. It just felt like a small movie to me once again. I hate to use that particular adjective, but that's how I found it. I wanted it to be better than it was. I walked out of the theater really feeling that, gee, that was powerful. The best scene for me, there's a young man in the film who we find out is gay.
Yes.
And he has a scene where he breaks down.
That's a great scene.
And that scene knocked my socks off. And I loved, we saw kind of a character thing that in movies is usually portrayed as a hands-off kind of a thing, and yet it was embraced by the other character in the movie, that this is a sad man here, and this is set back, and there were no cell phones in this film. This is set back.
No, there were cell phones at the end.
Oh, okay.
No, this movie takes place in the early 2000s.
Right.
Yeah.
I really
the movie takes place right after 9/11.
Okay.
Because that's part of the storyline.
Right.
9/11 happened.
Correct.
Yeah.
I did like the film very, very much.
Yeah, me too.
I thought everybody
I thought it was
in the
very
film,
well done.
It was very well done.
Very good. I think it's a
solid
film that, any mother-daughter can probably relate to almost more than anybody. It's a relationship film about the complicated relationships between mothers and daughters. It's a different relationship than a father-son.
Yeah.
Very complex, but in the film, it also showcases the classic father-daughter relationship.
Absolutely.
The bond that they have.
And also
the firstborn.
And also her
Actually, no, she's
friends.
not the firstborn, I'm sorry.
And we get all of her friends are beautifully rotated.
Oh, the best friend, the girl's very good.
Best friend, the one particular girl, and then she moves on to the beautiful girl in the school.
Yeah, she tries to jump into a different circle.
Tries to jump into the better set and try out the grass is not always greener over there. It's a remarkable little piece of work.
It really is, and it's a postcard to Sacramento, which is where Greta Gerwig grew up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of little hot dog stands.
And it's
so
an
forth.
interesting exploration of Catholicism, and she's not even Catholic. I heard her interviewed on the radio.
She's not.
No, she grew up.
She's an Irish girl.
Christian Science. I don't even know what that religion is. Christian Scientist.
Okay.
But she's always been fascinated with Catholicism.
Well, it's a
great film. You're going to hear about it come Oscar time.
Just talking about it more.
I hope she gets an Oscar nod in some capacity.
I don't
Maybe in the
think
screenplay
she will.
category.
I think there are too many other. I think she's almost overshadowed a little bit by Laurie Metcalf in the film. Not that Laurie is great. I think Laurie's final scene in the film
when she's in the car.
That was kind of it. It reminds me of what's her name in Fences, who basically got
Viola Davis.
Oscar, Viola Davis, for that incredible scene where she stands up to Denzel.
Yes, it's a great
I've
scene.
been living here for 15 years with you. Yeah, exactly.
But Laurie could get a nom.
She did get a nom.
Well, Golden Globe. We
She
didn't
got
win
a
an
Globe.
Oscar.
Yeah, true. True. And, you know, I can't stand the Golden Globes. They
I know.
just have this
Comedy
most ridiculous thing.
Get Out is in the comedy.
I know, Get Out, which is a horror film, and a pretty horrifying.
Is in the comedy performance.
It's a racial essence of a horror film.
Comedy
in this
film.
movie. And they put it.
Well, they put The Martian in comedy too.
Victoria and Abdul is in the comedy section.
Wasn't there some funny moments?
No. Well, there were, but I wouldn't call it a comedy.
It's silly.
It
you know
is
what
silly.
they use that category for? We can't fit you in here. We're going to put you over here.
Exactly. It's the runoff.
What they should do is
It's the runoff
just increase
category.
how many nominees are in the Best Picture Drama category.
Just like they did with the Academy Awards. They
Yeah.
got up to 10 films now.
Solve your problem right there. You don't get your backlash.
Case closed. Hey, bump, hey.
If only they would listen to Film Banter.
If only they would listen to Film Banter, but nobody listens to Film Banter, do
It's
they?
okay. All right, so shall we move on?
We shall move on.
How did you like that movie?
You know, I never wanted this for you. I always thought Sonny would be the crazy one, but for you, oh, I liked the movie. I thought it was good. I thought the cinematography was wonderful, and I thought that, you know, I didn't see any octopussy in it, though, so I was a little disappointed by that.
Okay, we've done Lady Bird. Now we're going to do
Jim and Andy?
Jim and Andy.
Jim and Andy.
Documentary?
It's on Netflix. It's got a very actual official long title, which I want to say because it's kind of funny.
It's called.
I'll tell you right here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called. I couldn't fit it on our little paper there.
Yeah.
It's called Jim and Andy: The Great Beyond, featuring a very special, contractually obligated mention of Tony Clifton.
Yeah.
And so this film is about the making of Man on the Moon, the 1999 Milos Forman film about the comedian, actor, performer Andy Kaufman
Correct.
and his alter ego, the obnoxious lounge singer Tony Clifton.
Yes.
And this is all about how when Jim Carrey was going to be playing him in that film, how he pretty much stayed in character all the time.
The entire
Jim Carrey was
shoot
never on
of
set.
the film.
It was either Andy Kaufman
Correct.
or the obnoxious Tony Clifton.
And poor Milos Forman, he said, I just want to talk to Jim Carrey.
He's like,
I
I've never...
just want to talk to Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Milos said he's never
If
been intimidated
only
by
I-
anybody but
I
Tony
know.
Clifton.
Oh, well, Tony
So
Clifton.
fun. What an
was so
obnoxious...
obnoxious.
I love it.
And you know what?
Humor.
I'm
the
telling you,
water.
I love that
I loved
scene
it.
at
It's
the
great.
end where people, you know,
Yeah.
he addresses the entire film crew. The shoot is now over.
It's great, yeah.
He's in the guise of Tony Clifton
Yeah.
because the character of Andy, you know, Andy Kaufman died.
In real life and in the movie,
real
yeah.
life and in the film Man on the
Yeah.
Moon, he dies. So we see the power of Jim Carrey kind of depleting towards the
Yeah.
end of the movie as his character
Yeah.
of Andy Kaufman dies.
it's a very-
So all that is left is the character of Tony
Yeah.
Clifton. So, I mean, I'm telling you, man, when he addresses that crowd at the end,
Yeah, it was amazing.
and they're just sitting there and they're crying.
Yeah, he's
because
tearing
they
up
love
as
him
Tony
so
Clifton.
much.
Yeah.
They love Jim Carrey so
Yeah.
much because he provided them. You know, I forgot Courtney Love was in that movie.
Yes.
And you know, Courtney
She
Love
is.
was in the Larry Flint
Yeah,
film.
also
the
Milos Forman.
People
Which is a
versus
film
Larry
that I
Flint.
love and nobody mentions.
Well, I'll tell you something. Courtney
great
Love
movie.
is awesome in that
She
film.
is. She's fantastic.
She did so many kind of cool things.
I know.
And, you know, she's
It's a brilliant
underrated-
film.
she's
Again,
an underrated
another
actress.
amazing Woody Harrelson
Woody
performance.
Harrelson performance, absolutely.
And his brother is
100%.
excellent, playing his brother in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's his brother?
Woody Harrelson in the movie. Woody Harrelson's brother in real life
No.
played Larry
I
Flint's
understand.
brother.
Okay, well, who is he? Do we know
Something
him?
Harrelson.
Something Harrelson. Oh,
Yeah,
there
I don't
you
know
go.
what his name is.
Probably, who knows?
But this movie,
I loved it.
It goes to show you.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
This just shows you what
Right.
an actual performer this man is. How
Uh,
into this role he was living
he
it.
did.
To
Well-
the point that when he was not playing it, he then got depressed because
Yeah.
he was able to leave Jim Carrey behind.
And he said at
It's
the
amazing.
end, I don't know how to be Jim Carrey anymore.
And he's got these amazing
I've been on
interviews throughout
vacation.
this.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been on vacation from Jim Carrey for 2 months
Yeah.
now.
And we
I
hear
don't know
about
what
his
to do.
upbringing, his family life.
I know.
It was a great
It
documentary.
was wonderful. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you watched it.
Yeah, well, I've been meaning
asked
to
you
watch
to
it.
watch it like 2 nights ago.
And
but
I watched
was
it, yeah.
I was so
I
amazed
loved
by
it.
it. You know, it just reminds me of The Doors.
Yes.
You know, and Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Also
An
did the same
unsung
thing with Oliver
performance.
North.
Yeah.
Well, no, he stayed
Oliver
in
North.
character.
You mean Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone, forgive
Yeah.
me. Oliver North, yeah, right. The guy in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Well, Oliver North made a movie. I mean, Oliver Stone made a movie about Oliver North. That Vietnam film that he did.
Not Platoon.
No, he did there was a 3-film set.
Well, he did Platoon.
Yeah, Heaven and
Heaven and
Earth.
Earth was about Oliver
There
North.
you go. Yeah, Oliver North is in that film.
Oh,
And
I
it
didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I never saw that
I
one.
believe.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken, but
Because Born on the 4th of July
I've
was
been
his other
mistaken
Vietnam
before.
film.
Correct. Yeah. But
But I think that Man on the Moon and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind are Jim Carrey's best performances. Amazing
I
stuff.
agree. And
Those
he
two
talks about the
films,
Truman Show. And
that's a
how
great film,
his
too.
life was. I didn't love the Truman Show by any means.
I thought it was great. I liked that a lot.
I love to say, I still am a big Mask. I love The Mask.
Mask is a great movie.
And
it's fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love The Mask, and I like the his pet detective
Ace
Ace
Ventura, the first
of course.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, the second one wasn't too good until he does get birthed by.
That was funny.
Yeah,
when he comes out of the ass of the rhino.
Yeah, I know that was wonderful, but. I'll tell you this.
But Jim
this
Carrey's
movie
a great guy.
It's
I love
on
him.
Netflix.
Yeah, it is. It
such
just premiered last week.
Yeah, it did. It was it just last week?
Yeah, last week it's premiered. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. November it did. Last month I meant to say.
Yeah, yeah. This
November,
has been on for a while. I just
Yeah.
haven't watched it, and I finally sat and watched
me
it,
too.
and I was blown away.
It was great.
And Jim Carrey is such a smart guy.
He's
such
great.
a zen.
And he just had a
so
spiritual
calm.
awakening recently
He
too.
did, indeed.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he's a painter. He paints beautiful
Yeah.
paintings. He's such a talented individual.
And now he's producing a show for Showtime about stand-up comics.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
I didn't care for.
I didn't
did
watch
see
it.
some of that. I didn't love it. Let's move on. Jim and Andy's a big
It's a
Lady
great one.
Bird so
It's
far.
great.
3 billboards. We're almost loving everything we're watching
Yeah.
tonight. I gotta say.
So you're gonna do Better Watch Out?
We're gonna do Better Watch Out. This is a very small horror film. I do believe it's available on Amazon.
Okay.
Takes a very bizarre turn. It's basically about a young boy and his friend. They're obsessed with his babysitter, who she's going off to college, and she's in love with a particular guy. And the kids in this movie are actually the Antichrist. I'm kind of giving away something that you find out within about the first 25 minutes of the film, 20 minutes of the film, but
Yeah.
oh my God, this film really caught me off guard. This is such an evil film.
Really?
Oh my God, it just put me into, I just sat there with my mouth open half the time watching this. It's called Better Watch Out, just like the You Better Watch Out, You
Better
it's,
Not
it's
Cry.
a Christmas
Yeah.
themed
right.
film, and it's kind of The Babysitter,
Okay.
which we just recently saw
Yeah,
on
we did.
Netflix, which is about a group
Almost
of
a cult.
who just start performing ritual killings and so
Yeah.
forth. But this film is almost in that same particular category, but it's the opposite side. The kids are now the bad guys, and this film kind of blew me away, I have to say. Right to the very end, I was sitting there and I was very much blown away. So I'm going to give a big shout out to
Cool.
Better Watch Out, without a doubt. Also, I just
You wanted to do a 3 quick
I just
ones,
wanted to
right?
do 3 little quick films that I recently saw.
3
But
sub-reviews.
We've been off for a couple weeks, so I have nothing. I have no life. I have nothing to do but eat peanut butter and iced tea. So I do want to do a quickie. There's a little Polish film that just came out called Behind the Blue Door. It's a fantasy film. It has great special effects. It's about a little boy and his mother and he are in an accident at the very beginning of the film, and he kind of goes through a whole mental transition, goes to live with this grandmother kind of thing, and goes through a blue door into a whole total bizarre dimension. I really enjoyed this film a lot. Behind the Blue Door. Next one, a little film called Bitch, which is with Jack Ritter, John Ritter's son, who's turning into a very good little actor on his own. And this is a film, he's cheating on his wife. His wife is kind of a bit of a nutcase to begin with, and she turns into the family dog. Weird. And she goes down into the basement and defecates on herself. And
Now, literally or
Yes.
just in behavior?
No,
Physically
I mean,
turns into
she
a dog.
turns into a dog
That's
in the most
strange.
horrifying way.
Wow, that sounds
it
intriguing.
almost turns into a little bit of a horror film.
It reminds me of like American Werewolf from
it
London
was-
or something, where
it
she
was
does that
such-
transformation.
I know, but
Is there a cool transformation scene?
No, she
Aw.
doesn't. We don't see her as a dog. We see her. We see her running down the street after cars
Wow.
and things. But they just do close-ups of her, so we can't actually.
Oh.
We don't see a shot from afar where we see her galloping
Oh.
down the road. But this is a very strange movie. I did enjoy it, I have to say. It was kind of cool. Okay, my last film is on Netflix. It's called Temple.
Okay.
This is a little horror movie. These 3 people go to, some kids disappeared many years ago. They go to Japan, and they pursue this kind of a cult thing that goes on. And I did enjoy this film very much. Some great acting here. Just a few little. So
Cool.
Temple, Bitch, and Behind the Blue Door.
Nice.
Strange, but honorable mentions, all 3.
Interesting trilogy.
Let us move on now.
We're gonna do a
It's,
couple
got
flashbacks.
a couple flashbacks, and we're way under time.
That's
here.
nice.
We're way
For a
under
change.
time. Hey, maybe I'll throw a few more things.
Well,
in
it wouldn't
there.
kill us to have a shorter show once in a
No,
while.
I think it would kill us.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, well, at least we can go. We still got another 12
Oh, we
minutes
can still
left.
do an hour, but I'm just,
All right, so keep
So
going,
I'm
man.
going to do a film from 1944, Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat.
Very, very good film.
Well, yeah, this is an interesting little movie. It's a very confining film. It's about a bunch of survivors on a shipwreck who are on a little lifeboat.
They're on a lifeboat.
And it's about a
Stars
handful of
Marlene
characters.
Dietrich.
Yeah.
I'd see the boys in the back room.
Very, very good.
Yeah, I love Marlena.
And it has
Very cool.
I liked those. I forgot to write down his name. The second guy, the guy that's kind of like the antagonist, he was very good.
Who is that?
I'm
wait
gonna
a
look him
minute.
up.
I believe
He
Victor
was very good.
McLaglen. Victor McLaglen is in this film.
Could be.
Yeah, and he was also in a great film in 1935. He won Best Actor for a film called The Informer, which is set in kind of the Irish world of union striking, and he becomes an informer.
Oh, this guy's named John Hodiak.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
Is Victor McLaglen in this film, or am I completely wrong?
Yeah, he's not in this film.
Oh, he's not.
No.
Well, there you
And
go.
the woman, you had it wrong too. Her name is Tallulah Banks.
Oh, Toledo Bankhead.
Bankhead.
Oh, Christ.
Bankhead.
Oh, well, I
not
totally
Dietrich.
messed up.
I was going to say, wait a
It's
second.
not Marlena.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
But there's a great cast. It does have a
You'd
very
think I know
young.
these things by now.
There's a very young Hume Cronin in this film, who I like a lot.
There's also a man by the name of London Lee.
Canada Lee.
Canada Lee.
Who dated your
Who dated
ex-mother-in-law?
My ex-mother-in-law, and my ex-brother-in-law was named after Canada Lee. His name is Lee.
Well, that
And,
late would be more the term, because you never got divorced. So they're technically
Well, I can't
still
call them late because late
means
denotes
they're dead.
They're dead.
So
So they're
is-
not. They're
Right.
dead a little to me.
So does that mean that they're ex because you're no longer with their heir?
Well, I
Or
don't
would
know
it
what
be-
to call them, but
there's got to be another term.
well, we are
between
no
ex-
longer related through
marriage.
my wife who has
Yeah.
passed away. So therefore,
So I guess ex
we're
would be
just
the right-
kind of in a whole different world.
It's an interest. There should be a term for that.
There should be. I think just ex mother-in-law.
I guess that works.
Brother, it works for
But most
me.
people would assume it means you're divorced.
You know, why people have to question it is beyond me. You miserable son of a...
No, I'm just saying for factual purposes, people
Well,
might assume you're divorced.
No,
but,
I don't know
but
what
you're
to
not.
do. I'm not divorced. My wife
You're
has
not.
passed away. She is kaput. Although I do believe, I cannot tell you how many bizarre things happen in this house. I let the dogs out yesterday, and this is God's truth.
I believe this
This
stuff.
stuff happens all the time around here.
Yeah.
I let the dogs outside. I let them out in the back. I have a whole fenced-in yard. I let the dogs out into the backyard. I figure, okay, the dogs are outside now. I have a glass door that shuts. Okay, and things happen in my house all the time. My wife's spirit, I know, she's
believe
here.
it.
She's here. I now decide, okay, listen, the dogs are outside. I'm going to run outside to the mailbox and get my mail while the dogs are out there doing their business. I see the dogs go under my deck because I think it was slightly raining a little bit, so they like to go under the deck so the rain doesn't hit them. I kind of taught them how to do that. I had to go in there once. I defecated under the bed. Did you really? No, I didn't, but I should have, but I didn't. But anyway, all right, I run down to the mailbox. I come back in the house. The dogs are in the house. I know I walked out of here. I know I did not let these dogs back
You know
in.
you closed the door.
I closed the glass door. They could not get back. I never leave the door open because
Yeah.
the cats can get out, whatever. I know they were outside. I go down there, and while I'm outside, I like to tease them a little bit. Okay? And I'm yelling, you know, hey, Angie, Angie. I yell from the front of the house, so they go, woof, woof, woof. And I would have sworn I heard them bark the whole bit.
Wow.
I walk into the house. There they are. They're inside the house. Blew my socks off. Last night, I turn all the lights off in the house. I go to bed. Every night, same shtick. I come walking back here in the morning. I got two lights on. This light and that light are on.
Wow.
I turn the lights off. I always do. I don't want the lights on because I can see the lights
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my bedroom. I tell
I
you.
mean, honestly, I'm open to believing that stuff.
Well, it's very strange, and if my
My
wife
sis-
is here, I love you. I wish
Yeah.
you would,
That's her way of saying hello.
spoon me once in a while I'm sleeping.
Give you a little handy.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
That'd be pretty cool.
All right, that would be very cool. but I don't think that's going to happen. And, hey.
A ghost job.
All right, so Lifeboat. Did you like this film?
I like this film. Yeah, I thought it was good.
We should talk about Alfred Hitchcock's cameo in the movie.
It's a brilliant cameo.
Brilliant piece of work.
He has himself in an advertisement on a newspaper. It was pretty cool.
Which they find in the ocean water.
Yes, it was really cool.
They find it there, and he's the before picture and the before and after.
And he actually went and lost his weight just for that purpose. It was pretty cool.
Well, I don't see how he could have, because he was overweight. He was the before guy, so he's fat.
He did, but no, but in the trivia on IMDb, it says he actually went to the trouble of losing weight so he can have two
he could have
contrasts.
lost that weight, that much weight. Alfred Hitchcock ate a steak and a baked potato.
Yeah, but he
every
did it deliberately
day
for
of
that
his
movie,
life.
though.
Well, very possibly.
I mean,
so.
remember,
Yeah.
from the time the film starts shooting, the pre-production to the time the film was done,
I suppose.
he has the time to do it. You know, they
I
could
don't
have
know why they just
superimposed.
didn't use another actor, or I guess they could have superimposed his head, but they
Whatever.
didn't do those kind of things. They
No.
didn't have Photoshop.
But anyway, he did it. So,
1944.
but this is a cool little film. It's really a film. It's about human behavior, about dynamics, different personalities clashing. There's a German on the boat.
Yeah.
Because this takes place during World War II. So there's some animosity there. There's a lot of little things that happen. I'm not going to give anything away, but I really enjoyed this movie. And
No, it's a great classic.
It's definitely a classic. You can really see, you know, a filmmaker getting really creative with his camera. There's a really cool camera angle that is a low shot when they show the German guy doing the rowing, and he comes from like a second, like a hair away from the front of the frame.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's really a cool shot, like really an extreme close up. He just does a good job at keeping the viewer interested
Absolutely.
in a very confining location. It was very well done. I really enjoyed it.
One of my favorite absolute things about Alfred Hitchcock, he always amplified the detail.
Yeah.
And very often you would think that, oh, that detail is not relevant. But like in The Wrong Man, one of my favorite Hitchcock films with Henry Fonda,
Yeah.
who was accused of murdering
to see
somebody.
that one. I didn't see that
It's
one.
just a great film. But he'll just show somebody, suddenly a hand going into a pocket with keys, and you see the hand come out with the key on it, or etc. But he'll just focus on the minute little sense of detail. The editor on almost every Alfred Hitchcock made had no job to do at all, because Alfred laid everything down on storyboards. He had easels and easels and easels. I want this to go this.
Yeah.
He knew that film in and out. I mean, that's just pure genius, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And we got a bad shout out on Alfred today in The Disaster Artist when
Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau is talking about the birds and
I know,
how
yeah.
and he threw birds, and that movie won every award in the book. The birds won no awards. The birds won no awards, by the way. Tommy Wiseau thought it did, but it didn't
course,
win any.
yeah.
I don't even think it was nominated back in 1962, 60, whenever that was. But regardless, I'm going to do, you like Lifeboat?
Yeah, I recommend check out Lifeboat. Yeah, you can watch it on Amazon.
Oh, very good. I'm going to go into a film. This is set back. This is a 1991 film. It's
Yes.
called The Double Life of Veronica. It
Or
looks
Veronique.
like Veronique, but it's Veronica.
Yes.
And this is one of the. I mean, I'm literally doing this show because I just reviewed earlier in our little broadcast here a film called The Great Beauty, which is so beautiful. Every scene is just a set-up piece of genius. Well, The Double Life of Veronica here is almost the same thing. Just colors and beautiful. One of the most beautiful films I've ever seen is The Double Life. And here I go with that same kind of enthusiasm. Not quite as much as I had for The Great Beauty.
Great
Because
Beauty.
The Great Beauty is a knockout, visually and emotionally. But Double Life of Veronica stars this incredibly beautiful woman. And she lives in a small town in France, and she is just doing her thing. She's a wonderful singer. She's got a boyfriend. It's just got a very wonderful little foreign feel about it. Oh, Papa! She loves her Papa, and she's got her little life going on. She gets on stage she's singing. She's got this incredible voice. She's singing. Suddenly, she clutches her heart and dies right in front of your face. Very soon into the film. Cut. We go to another part of France where this other woman is living who looks exactly like her. She meets a marionette who she falls in love with, and he always builds two puppets, and it's just this kind of parallel universe that goes on. I love this movie. It was so beautifully done. And at the very end of the film, by the way, we almost have a little cameo spiritually by the shamed Mr. Harvey Weinstein. Because, at the very end of the film, they make a reference.
The dog is snoring.
He's on his... wait a minute.
There will be no sleeping in the Big Chat Meet and Greet Film Banter studio.
No, he's still sleeping, so...
He's a deep sleeper.
Both my dogs are out cool. But, anyway, Harvey, at the very end of the film, they have an alternate ending, and the alternate ending was suggested by Harvey Weinstein because he wanted it to be a little bit more fleshed out as far as a return to her original papa kind of thing. And so we tack on, the scene it says it's a 5-minute and 30-second scene, but it actually only turns out to be 30 seconds because it shows the credits all over again. So, it was kind of like Sin City when they did the three version, the three three episodes of Sin City, and you think you're getting like a 3-hour film, but no, because the credits are like 12 minutes on each segment. So
36 extra minutes.
But exactly, kind of ridiculous. But okay, well, I'm going to throw in something else here, just very quickly. Just a couple movies. Jeepers Creepers 3 has come out. Great special effects on Jeepers Creepers 3. We have a Batman. An actual bat head. Yeah, and he has this...
Is it the same creature in all three? Because I've never seen those movies.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. And he just kind of comes out of the blue, and he has this incredible thing on the back of his van that's got this like
So is he part human? To drive a van?
I guess he is. But he does drive a van. He has this van, but it has this like huge, like a line on it, but it's a metal line.
Is it like an arrow shoots an arrow or something? I thought I saw that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I saw part of one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So while the kids are running away, he shoots this thing at him, and he hooks them, like he shoots them. You see the arrow go poof.
Yeah, I saw that in the
their
first
chest,
one. Yeah.
right? And then the next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. Next thing you know, and he's reeling him back in, and it's a bizarre little film, but I can't recommend this movie. It just reeks. It's just garbage.
I can't imagine Jeepers Creepers 3 would be great.
It's not very good, and it is what it is. I will mention a little film though, starring Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island, and it also has not Christopher Lee, but John Carradine, the father of our beloved David Carradine and Keith Carradine. David, of course, killed himself by asphyxiation of the sexual throat.
Embarrassing, would it be?
Transgender, transsexual kind of a thing. But I really like this
transsexual,
movie.
just autoerotic asphyxiation.
Well, autoerotic asphyxiation.
Michael Hutchins from In Excess, the same thing.
But he was dressed up as a woman. When
I didn't hear that. He did?
Yeah, no, he was dressed up as a woman. He had the wig on, the whole bit.
And his family tried to say he was murdered by the Yakuza because he was trying to expose them.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, I like The Evils of the Night. It's a 1985 film, and it was a kick, and got a lot of little babes running around in their bikinis and pulling their tops off, and just running around. And then these aliens, played by Tina Louise and John Carradine, and also Julie Newmar makes a little cameo in this film. Yeah, and they're taking these kids and they're sucking the life out of them and to give themselves to keep themselves younger and so forth. So. It was great fun.
Cool.
And I think that's it, folks.
Well, we'll definitely be reviewing next week the new Star Wars, The Last Jedi, obviously.
Definitely.
I'm going Thursday at 9 o'clock.
We are also going to be doing The Snowman, which
we'll do The Snowman.
Horrifying reviews from the rest of the world.
Victoria and Abdul will do.
I think we're going to probably, we'll do Victoria and Abdul.
Speaking of Star Wars, real quick, for those of you who don't know, we said in the beginning, I got married this weekend, and I had a Star Wars themed wedding, not to the point that we were dressed up or anything, but there was definitely a theme.
I don't know why you weren't.
I'm not that.
I would have
I
loved
love
to have
Star
seen,
Wars.
Kim with the buns on
I
her
know,
head
but I'm not that nerdy that I'm going to dress up for the wedding.
I don't know.
But I had a Millennium Falcon lapel pin on my blazer.
Yep.
And we had Star Wars throughout. How'd you like the poster that Steve did?
I love the poster.
Wasn't that cool?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Your face was subbed in for Han Solo.
I know. Steve took my idea and he was able to do it well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My name was in the credits there.
Yes.
Because of the film that
There's
you
a film
showed.
banter clip
We had a film banter
little.
clip.
I just so you know, I cut together and shot a little short film to show at the ceremony that we
How
played.
long was that film?
14 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 14
oh, it
minutes.
seemed much longer. And I don't mean that in a negative
No, it was
way.
14. But I thought it flew pretty quick for
No,
14
it was
minutes.
great. Everybody loved it.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it brought the house down. I mean,
And it was
and I got married in a theater,
Yeah,
too.
he
It was
did.
beautiful. We had a screen and everything.
Well, it was more like a playhouse.
Well, it was a
wasn't like
black box
movie
theater.
Yeah.
No, it was a theatrical theater for
Right.
live performances.
Exactly.
But it had a screen.
It was a minimal stage.
Yeah,
but
very
it,
small.
But
it worked perfectly for our purposes.
It was perfect.
For our small 70-person wedding.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, while the film was being showed, there was a podium on the stage.
Yeah, they
which
did
did
obstructed
block
some of
out-
his view.
Obstruct out.
The
there I
sound,
was in
the sound tech didn't
I was
think
in
it was
the-
going to be a problem, and I don't
Nah.
think it was for the back of the house.
Well, he
but for the
screwed
first
it
couple
up.
rows, unfortunately.
And he screwed
But
up that guy.
anyway, the whole point of what I was trying to say is, so I showed this little short film at the wedding.
Beautiful
And,
little compilation
yeah,
film
I
of your
worked about-
whole meeting with her. Was that film? Let me ask you this very briefly. and I hate to interrupt
It's
you
okay.
because we're at the end of
That's
our show
fine.
here, but you showed a clip when you were on your way to the date.
Yes.
Okay, was
Yes.
that the actual?
No, I shot that
Yeah, I thought
recently.
so.
Yeah,
I thought you
but I
did.
wore the same shirt that I wore on the first
Okay.
date.
No, I'm saying to myself,
Yeah.
how did he know?
Yeah, I know.
To do that,
I did.
You know, that didn't
But
make
luckily,
any sense
though,
at
I'm
all.
always filming things, so I had a lot of video and pictures
Yeah.
over the past 3 years.
I believe it.
And then I went and I shot some stuff, specifically the video. Like, for example, our first date, we had gone to IKEA and got to know each other at IKEA for a couple hours. So I went to IKEA and I shot myself talking about the date at
Yeah.
IKEA and all the different little areas. It was a lot of
that
fun
was
to
funny.
do.
Everybody enjoyed it.
They
very
enjoyed
much.
that. It was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, I had a point I was going to make about something. And I had to recreate the opening Star Wars crawl.
Right.
And I typed it up so it would match the theme and the style of the original text.
Of course, with the text sliding
But
upward.
I
yeah.
changed the wording, but I tried to keep each sentence in tune with what was originally in the original film.
Right.
But it was a lot of fun, but it took hours just to do that.
Oh,
it was
my God.
amazing how much time
I'm not
that took.
surprised.
Because I had to learn how to do that. Luckily, there were tutorials on YouTube on how to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had to learn how to do it.
All right. Well, it had to be a bit of software you had to
No,
download.
I did it right in Premiere. In my editing program
Oh,
that I
okay.
used for
Well,
the
there
show.
you go. Why-
I was able to
I
do
knew
it
there
on
was
there.
a specific software. You couldn't just go to a computer and start.
No, you have to have an editing
You
program.
have to have an editing program.
Either Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere.
And let
whatever.
me just say,
Yeah.
first and foremost, it was a beautiful wedding.
It was a nice
It was
day.
very
I loved it.
nice.
Yeah.
You know, this man and his now wife
Yeah.
truly love each other.
We do. She's
and
wonderful.
And it was just so nice to see that love up there.
I agree.
Because I've been to many weddings, and friends of mine have been to many weddings, and you don't honestly. Sometimes you just see two beautiful people up on
You do.
up on a thing, and you know that there's a physical attraction and so forth, and you just but you don't feel anything sitting in the audience, and I absolutely was bowled over by just that feeling of that these two people love each other.
Yeah.
Jesus, I
We
mean,
do.
it was very, very obvious.
I'm glad that came
and
through.
It came through first
Yeah.
and foremost,
Beautiful.
and it was a beautiful thing.
Well, then we succeeded because we handled
did,
the wedding
indeed.
as a production because
Yep.
like just everything was trying to be. We were trying to do everything as different as we could, but classy, entertaining,
Yeah.
not boring.
Well, you
It
certainly
was
did.
it was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, your dad
He
read
did a little
thing.
He did a Victor Hugo quote.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
That was a little bit of a monotone performance by Ed, but it
whatever.
was
I
you know, he
liked
got
it.
up, he did what he had
Yeah.
to do. and
My
then
brother-in-law
your
was the
Aunt
best
Vera-
man and officiant.
Your Aunt Vera
My
got
aunt did a
up
prayer.
and
Yeah.
she did a little prayer there,
It was nice.
and it was very nice, and everybody was just off the chain.
It's a shame I couldn't have had you do a little
chain.
stand-up.
I would have, not stand up, but I could have just done a
little
little
something. Yeah.
something, a little speech or something. I would have
Yeah,
enjoyed.
well,
it.
that's the reason I did also include you in that clip from Film Banter.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be a nice way to open the thing.
Well,
a
I
little
will
comedy.
say this, you know, a woman came up to me, and I'll tell you later who this woman was because you do know her.
Yes.
But she walked up to me, and I said, "Hey, I know you. I saw you down when Chris had his birthday at the Newark."
Oh, yes.
Now these people were not invited. To
I know
the
what you're
most
talking- yes,
recent,
yes,
and
yes,
this was-
yes.
And they have a little baby girl.
I know what
now.
you're talking about.
Okay. Well, she came up to me and I said, "Hey, I know you. I saw you down at Chris's birthday party a year ago
Yes.
when we did the whatever that.
We went to
thing.
Rodizio.
Rodizio, which
yes.
is a specific
Brazilian restaurant.
Brazilian restaurant where they bring the meat to the table, etc. And she was there with her husband. She was pregnant at the time.
Yes.
Now they have this little beautiful baby
Beautiful.
girl. My
Gorgeous.
God.
Yeah.
Just a stunning little girl. But she just walked up to me. She goes, "I know you. You're famous." And I said, Well, in some circles, probably
Yeah.
my own mind, I'm
Yeah.
more famous than anywhere else. But
that was funny.
it was funny.
Oh,
and,
speaking of that, so if you remember, I was over dinner. I was telling you about my wife.
should we
Kim.
end the show here? By the way,
Yeah, I'll tell you this all right. Anyway, yeah.
there
all
we
right.
go. So,
Guys,
ladies and
we'll see you next
gentlemen,
week.
gonna
We're
say
digressing.
goodbye. 86 of you have chosen to
87.
to visit 87.
He just popped in for the last moment.
Maybe we'll have an 88 here in a moment.
Yeah. Anyway,
listen,
we'll
we
see you
will
next
be
week for
back
Star Wars.
Next Tuesday, we shall
7:30.
return with another
Yes.
series of films that
Again,
no one cares about.
check out Film Banter on YouTube and on Facebook. Enjoy some of the stuff on there, man. A lot of good stuff on YouTube.
But yeah, it's all
And you can email us, filmbanter@gmail.com.
It's on email.
Yes, what he said.
Yeah.
That's an awful tone.
Oh, yeah.
You have a stroke. Stroke banter. See you later.
And that's it, folks.